this video, we'll see how to graph equations that are in point-slope form. Remember that when we have these equations, there are infinite solutions to them, and the graph is just a way to model the solutions to these equations. So every single point that's on the line that you graph will be a solution to that equation. So here's our equation in point-slope form, right? It lets us graph an equation if we just know the slope and one point on the line. The m, the number before the parentheses, represents the slope, and then our coordinates for the problem are going to be here, the x1 and the y1. So let's look at an example. I've got the equation y minus 3 equals 2 times the quantity x minus 6. Let's identify the slope first. The slope is going to be this 2 here. And then what are my coordinates? My coordinates are right here, 6 and 3. Remember, the x comes first and the y second. So in order to graph this, I am going to plot that point 6, 3. So I go right to 6 and up 3, and here's my point 6, 3. And then I'm going to use my slope to give me some other points. So go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1. I can of course go down 2, left 1, down 2, left 1, and these are all the points that are going to be on my line. So I'm going to graph it, and my line will go through all of the points like this. All right, let's take a look at another example. The slope of this line is going to be negative 3 over 2. A point that's given to me in this equation that will also be on that line is the point negative 1, positive 6. Now again, why is it negative 1? If we recall back into our formula, y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1. When I take x minus negative 1, I get x plus 1. So the point is negative 1, 6. So I'm going to go to negative 1 up to 6. Here's my point that I start with. I am going to go down 3, and I'm going to go to the right 2. Down 3, and to the right 2. Keep on going down 3, and to the right 2. I can also go for my beginning point. I can go up 3, and then I can go left 2. And the graph of my line is going to look like this. Now, let's say you don't have a coordinate plane handy. What you can do is you just sort of sketch out what you're going to graph. So I have my coordinate plane here. I sketched out my x and y axis. I'm going to just say, hey, negative 1, 6 is about here. So I'm going to write down my point, negative 1, 6. And without the coordinate plane there, I do want you to label it. Now the question is, okay, so how do I find my other points? Well, what I could do is I know my y coordinate is going to go down 3. My x coordinate is going to go to the right 2. So I know a new point here is also going to be positive 1, 3. So then I'm just going to sort of sketch where that could be. So positive 1 and 3 about here. And again, I'm going to try to get another point. Oops, let me label that too. I'm going to get another point. My other point is going to go up 2, and it's going to go down 3. Sorry, and that was to the right 2 and down 3. So another point would be 3, 0. So I'm going to plot that here, 3, 0. And I can just connect these points like this. So without the coordinate plane, you can always sketch it. Just label at least 3 of your points on your graph, please. Okay, here's our last example. Again, we want to do what we did before, identify the slope and a point on the line. The slope is 6, and a point on this line, it's x minus 4, so that's going to be positive 4 there, and then y plus 9, so the point is going to be 4, negative 9. I'm going to go right 4, down 9, and that's going to be my first point. And now I want to use my slope to find another couple points here. So I'm going to go up 6. So going up from 6 from 9 is going to get me to -3, and to the right 1. So 5, -3 is a point. 4, -9 is a point. I'm going to go up 6 and to the right 1. 6, 3 is another point. And I'm going to go up 6 and to the right 1. 7, 9 is another point. And so my line is going to go through the coordinate plane like this. Once again, if you don't have a coordinate plane handy, of course you can just sketch your x and y axis and then start with the point that's given in the equation. So I'm going to just sketch where it is, 4, -9. Let's just say it is right down here in quadrant 4. And I do want you to label it. And then I'm going to go up 6. So I'm going to go up 6. And I'm going to go to the right 1. So my next point is going to be 5 and -3. So I'm going to go up 6 to the right 1, and we're going to say he right here is 5, -3. Then I'm going to go up 6 to the right 1, and a third point here could be 6, 3. So again, from 5, -3, up 6 to the right 1, 6, 3, and labeling at least 3 points would be great to show me the possible solutions to this equation. And you just want to put your line through those points, and these would be the solutions to your equation. And that's how we graph using point-slope form.